What's up, everyone? So, with great tragedy comes great opportunity. Yes, my 4GA Vox Omnium has gone to the netherworld and turned into dust, gems, and materials. Unfortunately, that sucks. Now, this led to the creation of what I call my strongest build ever for now, the Avatar Sorc. It is the master of all five elements. It is really strong, really tanky, can do any content. I just cleared Pit 137 with it. I was unable to do that with Vox Omnium. Honestly, I could have if I really got lucky with the boss fight. You know, like the right modifier showed up and everything. It can still do that, but this build did it as well, and it was a little bit more comfortable. And especially for Infernal Hordes, T8s and hopefully T10s, you're still coping to that. It's more easy to play, and honestly, it's pretty fun too. All right, so let's get into it. First things first, the equipment. All right, so the major change, of course, is the loss of Vox Omnium. Everything else seems similar. We still have Andariels, 3 into attack speed. Nice. If you get the GA all stat, even better. If you get all stat, if you get GA on attack speed, roll it once and then roll attack speed all stat twice. All right. Next, Raiment of the Infinite. Try to get a 2 GA. I know these GA rolls are not for everyone, but if you can, this is the optimized version. Okay, so get Int and Glass Cannon, and then fully masterwork the Glass Cannon because it's a lot of damage. All right. Next up, we got Fist of Fate. You already know this. You don't need attack speed on your Fist of Fate because you will be capped because of your Andariels and your Starless Skies. Plus, you'll be using the attack speed elixir, so you'll be capped, right? Alright, you want a lucky hit chance masterwork, GA on that, and you want a GA on chance to apply a random crowd control effect for 2 seconds. Really important because it synergizes with our Paragon Board, the control glyph. Really important there. Lots of damage if you get 100% on your lucky hit up to apply a random crowd control, okay? Next, here's a change to the build. You want to get a 2GA, as much as possible, a 2GA max affix roll on the bottom, Facial Conduit, 2 rolls of masterworking on resource generation and maximum resource, and 1 roll on Chain Lightning projectiles to cast twice. Because we don't have as much attack speed on this build, due to the lack of Vox Omnium, you have to go with more cast twice, right? More Chain Lightnings. However, you'll see later on that you don't need to 100% this, and honestly, you shouldn't 100% your cast of Chain Lightning. I'll get into it in a little bit, alright? Next, another big change to your build that you're currently running. You might be running armor boots and max health and int, right? For this build, you need mana per second, max life, plus int. Because you're also losing the Frostbolt effect of Vox Omnium, your mana regeneration struggles a little bit more compared to Vox Omnium, but these boots alleviate that problem. And once your build is ramping up with your ultimate and everything running, mana shield, everything, all your conjurations are out, you will not have any mana issues. This is another infinite mana build. Awesome. Okay. Next up, your amulet. This is another change. If you are having a hard time getting this, I understand it's a little bit difficult to build this build. This is a specialized super end game build, so yeah, you need Conjuration Mastery GA and Total Armor Percentage GA, and then you roll Glass Cannon, right? For the temperings, I forgot. For the boots, you want to roll Crowd Control Duration, really important again for this build. Then you can just do movement speed or teleport cooldown. Honestly, I think teleport cooldown is more beneficial than movement speed. I'll try to roll another pair of mana boots, but this was really hard to get and find, and also to roll. Okay, your amulet tempers are going to be crowd control duration again, and vulnerable damage. You still are not going to be running um, crit damage on this build because crit damage does not benefit from Vox. I mean, yeah, Andariel's doesn't benefit from crit damage, right? So still vulnerable. Really important to get that down. Okay. Next, your Russia ring. Honestly, you just need a GA on non-physical, but try to get the maximum affix on the bottom. This ring, because it does not have cooldown GA, is a really cheap ring on the market. You can probably find a 1 GA non-physical damage one for probably 1 or 2 billion. And the only thing that's hard to do is to find one because it's considered a bad stat for most builds. Everybody wants cooldown reduction. Honestly, I could re-roll, find one with cooldown. I actually have one with cooldown reduction, but it's not maximum 20. It's a 3GA, 3GA one. So I could try experimenting with cooldown reduction. Maybe it will be stronger because I'm more able to have a constant source of ice armor, but I believe not ice armor, ice blades. But honestly, I don't think you need cooldown reduction on this build at all. So just go with the cheapest stuff and get even a 2GA lucky hit chance and non-physical damage. Russia. Okay, this is a pretty cheap build, honestly. Yeah, this amulet you'll probably buy for maybe maximum 10B, but minimum 5B. I think I bought mine 5B. Okay. Now this is where there is a big change again. On your Ring of Starless Skies, on the original build, you're supposed to run Lucky Hit Chance. On this build, however, you want core skills. Okay? Might be wondering why. I will be explaining in a bit. You want core skills? I am lucky I got the GA version, which gave me +7 to core skills, which is nuts. And yeah, it made my build even stronger. So awesome to that. Now, here is where the other change lies. Since you don't have Vox Omnium, you need to equip a different weapon. So I went with Doombringer and Focus, and my Focus has Int, Max Life, and that 5% chance to restore 27.3% primary resource. I was the biggest hater of that stat, lucky hit chance to a 5% chance to restore 27.3% primary resource. But in reality, even in my old build, I had it on my amulet at the lower roll. That wasn't a GA, it was just a temper. This thing kind of saves you from stopping. What I mean by stopping is you stop attacking, you have that awkward pause, and yeah, it's a little weird to feel, but it's like a split second pause and then you shoot again. But yeah, this one, it prevents you from doing that. Even on the old build, I had it on the amulet, it was doing the same thing. So my error in saying that it was bad, it's actually pretty good, but you only need one item that has it. You don't need more than one. Okay, that's really important. For the rolls on your focus, you want to put, for the tempers, you want to put vulnerable damage. Mine got a mid roll. That's okay because I didn't really spec into it. Honestly, I think it's better to spec into vulnerable damage instead of intelligence, but I'm still trying out some stuff with the build. So right now we're going with perfect int. And you want to roll your chain lightning projectiles to cast twice. Yeah, I got a pretty high roll on this, and this was max. So I have about 49.5 plus 27.3. Let's just call it, because I hate math, about 77% chance to cast twice. Now, the reason why I'm not pushing for a 100% chance to cast twice, like triple critting chain lightning to projectiles to cast twice on this item is because I think it will struggle with mana. Because when I used another wand, like a regular rod wand, with the same temper as this without any upgrades, it's 100%, right? And I seem to always run out of mana. It is really annoying. So, yeah, there's that. By the way, Orange Herald for the boots, Storm Swell on the choker. Forgot, sorry. Now, for the focus, yeah, you don't want to upgrade your Chain Lightnings to cast twice. You don't want to get 100% because you want a constant flow of mana and skills to come out. You don't want to stop. Basically, the problem with builds that have mana issues is that awkward pause on the fight. You want a continuous skill use because you gotta get your what do you call this, ice armor to cool down. You gotta make your ice blades come out often. You need to be able to reduce the cooldown of your ult fast enough so that you can just be on ultimate form all of the time. So yeah, just 77% is really good because you're gonna have some, and it's pretty often, guys. 77 is pretty big. Like maybe out of, well, yeah, math, 7 out of 10 attacks will double, and those 3 that don't actually give you that pause of mana relief to sustain your output of damage. Okay, now the next thing, and I got super lucky with this, I'm gonna put out a crafting video. I got my Doombringer to GA on maximum life, which is what the build really needs. If you have a regular Doombringer, then triple crit your maximum life and just leave everything else. But because I got a GA on mine, I just crit it one time, and then I could put 2 crits to all stat for an even bigger damage increase from int. Plus, you gain mana regeneration from willpower. Then you gain crit damage, crit chance from dexterity. Really, really nice to have all stat. So I got really lucky with this one, and I got lucky with this one, and of course lucky with this one. Now, this is awesome. You might be thinking Doombringer is gonna make you weak, right? Because it's not the strongest item in terms of stats and damage, but in reality, it does so much for you that you can afford to gain more damage from other things. Meaning to say, you don't need to put any maximum life on your Paragon board. You don't need to put ruby gems on your equipment, on your armor. That's huge, right? Plus, you gain that added 100% damage on top. You see there on the damage per second. By the way, guys, this when you switch to sword and focus, your base damages are gonna go down. Like facial conduit should be 26,000 point something. This one should be 130 something, and this should be about 20. Same value as this one. These are just the same. See, look at that. 2305, 23058, right? So it will go down because your damage per hit is weaker, but Doombringer is gonna give you a lot of stats. On my build specifically, I gain 222 all stats plus that 100%, and then I gain 500 int from running topazes on my jewel armor. So that gives you about 722 int, and then 222 on all other stats. That's big, guys. That compounds, and it makes your build have a nicer synergy with all other things. Like I said, you gain resource generation a little bit, you gain more crit chance, plus don't sleep on the damage reduction. You gain 14.5% damage reduction. You even heal, so you'll always be topped up on when you're healthy. You'll always be healthy, basically. And you gain 23,058. It's like having 2 axial conduits into one item. one build. So your AoE damage and your damage source from outside Andariels will be way better. A lot better. Okay? Stressing this because the build changes I did was to make a hybrid build. This is no longer a pure Andy build with a little bit of extra damage from other skills. You'll notice that your Andariel sticks will lessen, but don't worry. You're gaining so much from other damage sources that you're actually gaining more damage than losing because of your poison ticks. And one more thing, poison ticks come out slowly. Damage from all other sources are immediate, so you have more damage up front. Mean to say you are more bursty. In argument, you could say that the crit version of this build should be a lot stronger and could easily clear 140 no problem. That could be true. It might be lacking on attack speed, however, so there's that. I keep forgetting the aspects. On the focus, you want to put accelerating, alright? This is because you want more projectiles, number one, more procs of Andariel, more procs of Doombringer, more procs of Acial Conduit. After doing a lot of testing, I tried switching up Stormswell, putting it here, and then putting accelerating here. It doesn't feel well, it doesn't feel nice. It does attack faster, but it doesn't do as much damage and it feels awkward. So I like Stormswell here and accelerating here. Guys, this is a really, really powerful build and it is super fun to play. So we will now go to the skill tree. Alright, skill tree. There's a few changes here, right? So the first thing, you want to put 2 points into any basic skill. I like to spread it out in case I want to play a different play style. Maybe put Spark next time, but yeah, I prefer these two. But you're not going to be using this for enchantment, don't worry. This is just a stat holder. Alright, next up, you're going to put in 5 points into Chain Lightning as much as you can, because it is now a hybrid build. So put 5 points here, then get Enhanced, and then get Greater. You're also going to get 1 point into Flame Shield, 3 points into Teleport, just move along like this. 3 points into Glass Cannon. Alright, that's your major source of damage right there. You're gonna put 3 points into Ice Armor, just follow the path. Alright, this is for your constant barrier as well as extra mana regen. Really important to have this. Alright, next you're gonna get Hydra because this is gonna be your enchantment number 1. There you go. Then you get Burning because you need the Hydras to do the burning damage because you're not using Firebolt, right? So this is also your source of fire damage, and yeah, part of the, what do you call it? Elemental 5 elements comes into play. So there's Shadow from Doombringer, Poison from Andariel's, Fire from Hydra and Flame Shield. You got Lightning from Chain Lightning, and of course Ice from Ice Blades. There you go, really simple. Yeah, put 3 points into Precision Magic. Ice Blades, yep, get this one so that it cools down all your other skills as well. It will help you with your ultimate cooldowns, everything, your flame shields, your teleports. Yeah. Alright, next up, Lightning Spear. You just want 2 points into this so that when you're in unstable currents, you're casting lightning spears from doing chain lightnings. Instead of 1 chain spear, lightning spear comes out, 2 will come out, which is more damage for you because you put 3 points into Conjuration Mastery, and the reason why there's a lot of this is because of our amulet, right? And I think my build can spawn about 15 on average, highs of 18, and if you're super lucky, 20. So that's a huge, this is where your major bulk of damage increase comes from, as well as your mana regeneration, which helps you basically keep shooting chain lightnings. Yep. Alright, get the mandatory 3-3-3 on the defensive stuff, also important to have. On this board, you only need 1 point into static discharge, and you're only getting this because of your glyph charged, so that you pick those balls up and gain 15% damage. Next, you're still gonna get Permafrost, 1 point, Hoarfrost, and you're gonna get 3 points into Frigid Breeze because your Ice Blades is your only source now for this mana regen to work. And without this, the build stops. It activates quite often. These are 45% chance, right? That's pretty high. But you have 6 of these conjurations, and they attack pretty fast because they take your base attack speed. So more often than not, this is gonna proc and you're gonna gain 15 mana. Next, you're gonna get 1 point into Coursing Currents and just 2 points into Electrocution because, well, you're already super tanky from your what do you call it, your pants, and then you're tanky because of Doombringer. Yeah, so you don't really need 3 points into this, and of course your key passive is gonna be Veer's Mastery. Okay, that's the skill tree right there. Really simple, similar to our old one, just a few changes, right? Just put 5 points into Chain Lightning for more damage. Okay, awesome. Next, our Paragon Board. Here is where things have changed quite a bit, but still follows a similar path. The glyph is still Elementalist on this one, just follow the board. Next, you're gonna get Static Surge, you're gonna get Overwhelming, get this one, Incapacitate, and on this first glyph, you're gonna put Control. Alright, this is really good, that's why you want Crowd Control Duration. Oops, these guys are trying to kill me. Bastards. Alright, next up, you want to get Paralyzing because you still want maximum mana. The more mana you have, the more electric hula hoops you have, the better. Electric hula hoops is that thing you just saw when I killed those mobs, the thing that goes around. Alright, next you're gonna path this way rather than this because you are no longer getting these 2 nodes right here. You'll see why, okay? Now, this is actually my original board from before I released my first build video. I did not share this board, but I made it a long time ago and it works perfectly now. Okay, so anyway, you want to get all these nodes because it's added damage for you. And yeah, see, non-physical still scales with Andariel's and your shadow damage and everything that's elemental. Okay, so this is your second board, which is Enchantment Master. Same board as before. Next, you're going to Burning Instinct. You're going to just grab these nodes right here. Just follow the board and put Tactician, still Tactician, for that added damage reduction. Plus that nice 25% burning damage and 25 int. Next, you're going to get this board, Elemental Summoner. You still want to get these because, you know, it's still a Chain Lightning build. I did not mention this on the last video, but it's better to path this way because you're gonna get your extra conjuration damage. This is very minimal, you won't even feel this, but it's still there because, I mean, they still do damage. So added damage to that, plus you gain the 10 int here. And then you gain, this is where you get your resource from all elements again, from, what do you call it? Your removal of Tyrell's Might, right? Because we're running Raiment, so you need more resistance to all, and it caps it. And here you're gonna put your charge glyph. That's when you pick up those balls and you gain 15% increased damage. Next up, this is the Searing Heat board. You just want to just follow the board and put Destruction here. You're not after the critical damage again, you're just after the 12% damage. Although the critical, it helps, right? You still crit and it still adds up. Now, on this board is where things got different. You want to run Unleash for the glyph. It's an int board, so just follow my board. It's still the same board, honestly. And here is the change. You're gonna run the points or the nodes going to the left. You're gonna grab these 2 nodes right here for the added damage reduction because you lost safeguard. We no longer have safeguard. We lost about almost 20 or 19.6% damage reduction, but that's okay. This is more than enough to make up for it. This is a 10 plus 12, so you get 12%. So you only lose about 7.6%, right? Not too bad. That's very, you don't feel that. Alright, okay. So anyway, next you're gonna open up your final board, which is Ceaseless Conduit. This is actually a really nice board, and the reason why it works now is because you are no longer a pure poison damage over time build. Yeah, because you're no longer a pure damage over time build, you can now spec into a different glyph. Just follow the nodes, and you're gonna put back Flame Feeder. Remember, we removed this because direct damage doesn't affect poison damage or damage over time. Well, now we need it because we gain 57.4% damage to burning, and that 57.4% works with poison damage over time. That's a little bonus. Plus, you gain 10% increased damage from everything else. Your chain lightnings deal more damage, your electric hula hoops, your shadow damage from Doombringer. Basically, any other damage source from besides Andariel's is increased, so you get this again. Plus, you get a little added bonus of 20% lightning damage and more int, and you get more dex as well. There you go. Really, really simple. It's now an what do you call it? 8-board glyph build. Yeah, just follow this board and you are going to be dealing monstrous amounts of damage and you are going to be surviving a lot. The only thing that can kill you basically is floor effects, those poison farts. Avoid the poison farts. The ball explosions, avoid those. The suicide bombers, just kill them really fast. The big suicide bomber in the hordes, the big giant one, burst it down. Desecrator can no longer one-shot you if you have barrier, and honestly I don't think it can one-shot you without barrier now because you have more HP plus you have more damage reduction. As long as the shadow procs on it, you will survive. So Desecrator, Butcher, no longer an issue. Everything is much easier now, and honestly this is the better build. Sadly, to Vox Omnium, NMK Vox Andy Sorc, this is better. The Avatar Sorc, really strong, master of all 5 elements. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Share with me your experience with the build, if you're having fun with it, if it's a huge upgrade. Yes, I know a lot of my items are basically need to touch grass items, but yeah, if you can get it yourself, then that's awesome. But again, you don't need it, right? You don't need it. It's gonna be weaker, of course, but you don't need the perfect ones. It will still function well. You'll still be clearing everything, no problem, like T8s. You might just not be able to clear later pits like 140. You'll probably be able to clear 135. Yeah. Oh, one last thing. One thing you notice, these gems right here are now vulnerable gems, no longer damage over time gems, because like I said, it's a more hybrid build. So with that, I must now end the video. Comment below, subscribe to the channel, really helps me out. We're in the mid-season of season 5. We are still hoping for a mid-season patch. We'll see. That hope will probably die down in the next few days if there's no announcement. And I will still continue to play season 5. I'll still mess around with a few builds, but I might not be uploading as much, but we'll see, guys. Depends. If we grow, then I will start to farm. Like right now, I'm farming. I'm trying to get up there. We are doing really well though, for a small channel. So thanks for your support and all that. yeah, season 6 is gonna be big, and I feel like if we reach a certain goal, I kind of want to start streaming a little bit. I like doing these videos, and streaming might be fun because it's like live. We can play together, we can farm stuff together, and have fun. Okay, all right, guys. See you all on the next video. Peace.